What is going on, everyone? It is Foul Play here. We're back in playing some more Modern. So I'm playing Bant again. I think the meta game shifted enough to justify it because, you know, Force of Negation is pretty good against a large amount of the decks that had been beating me, looking at you, Khan the Great Creator, and your friend Ensnaring Bridge. Alright, so what does that mean? It means we need to play a whole bunch of blue auras so we have cards to pitch to Force of Negation. We got Curious Obsession, which draws when we deal damage to an opponent. Staggering Insight with Lifelink and draws when you deal damage to an opponent. Both which giving 1-1. Arcane Flight giving 1-1 and flying. And then some usual green auras of Rancor, Ethereal Armor, Hyena Umbra, and Daybreak Coronet. We'll be running 10 creatures this league with the usual Scout and Bogle, plus the 2 Invisible Stalker at that slightly higher mana cost. We've got a 20 land mana base with 7 fetches and 1 Dryad Arbor as well. And then we've got the 4 Force of Negation here, ready to counter gross things like that and Kaya's Guile and whatever rubbish Tron wants to play, right? Alright. In the sideboard, we have got some spicy stuff. We've got Deafening Silence for the prowess decks. We've got Stubborn Denial for mostly Esper Control and their Kaya's Guile. Deicide pretty specifically in here for Heliod Company. Seal of Primordium and Force in here for Artifact and Enchantment decks, like the Tron, Eldrazi Tron, but also Titan decks with Dryad of Lythian Grove. Got Gadok Tegan here for Tron and Lurrus as our companion to bring things back. So that's the deck. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we are for match number 1. We won the die roll and are going to be on the play. Yep, that one, not that one. Alright, hand is good. I'm going to keep. We're versing NL Superminator U. Going for turn 1 Breeding Pool could be pretty dicey if our opponent discards our Curious Obsession. Other than that, it's just going to be the correct play. Lots of card draw in this hand. So this deck is like a little bit slower, like I'm going to say half a turn to like 1.5 turns slower than its green-white counterpart. Great draw. But, you know, we are technically in a bit of a slower meta at the moment. So I think that is mostly fine. And then just the strict upgrade of like, because we're usually losing like just doing Ensnaring Bridge 1 to 2 turns before we can actually finish off our opponent. But the strict upgrade of Force of Negation will help us do what we need to, which is counter a critical spell and survive a turn extra to win the game. Alright, so all things good on our first attack. Opponent with the Thoughtseers here, and let's see if they scoop. Double Staggering Insight Bogle. Oh, I smell an Esper deck here. If he's taking the Bogle in that spot, it has to be. Tap our mana correctly this time. Alright, so we do get 2 card draws off of this. There it is, the Hallowed Fountain. Alright, opponent's tapped out, so we get to play around Kaya's Guile for a turn or 2. Super nice. Dryad Arbor are like a pretty reasonable draw there. I also would have accepted Force of Negation, right? Or land plus Force of Negation. Because we have the blue cards here ready to go. Hello, baby. Alright, well, let's go for that attack. So the big question is, do I sacrifice Fatal Push? I'm okay with that. We got this Invisible Stalker here. We got Force Negation up. We get card draws to hit our land. We miss on our land. Okay. So we'll force the counterspell on the Stalker here. It does not happen. Alright. I mean, if we hit land, we can play around Cryptic Command as long as they don't upkeep or the Cryptic. But I think we're pretty good. Alright, we'll play out the Rancor. Play out the Daybreak Coronet as well. Should get us the kill past however much life he gains off Kaya's Gale. He could have Force plus Kaya's Gale. Cool, we get there. Alright, so was running Surgical Extraction, but it's a bit of a nombo with Force Negation in this deck. So the reason for running Surgical Extraction was exactly so they would get one Kaya's Gale. And then with Surgical Extraction away and not have to deal with Kaya's Gale again ever for the rest of the match. But realistically, it does not work that way because our Force Negation exiles their Kaya's Gale. And in addition, like we're going into this game, we're going to be on the draw. Our opponent is going to hit their third land drop before we hit our third land drop. And there's going to be a chance during our turn before we play our third land where he can then go ahead and make us Kaya's Gale while we don't have a chance to cast Force Negation. So that's why I think Stubborn Denial is pretty perfect here. I'm going to remove these Arcane Flights for it, and we're going to get back into it. So this will be my first time testing this against Esper, this exact configuration. So we'll see how we go. Alright, well this hand is good as long as we don't get Thoughtseize, so I'm going to go ahead and keep. I guess we can't play double Bogle on turn 2. Looks like our opponent does have the Thoughtseize. Or is he thinking about it? He's missed on the... he's kept his 7 without Thoughtseize? Okay, I can get behind that. Alright, so I guess he takes Staggering Insight. We can hold up Dryad Arbor, so we can go Hyena Umbra, attack, hold up Dryad Arbor. It's not like a great spot to be. Okay. Super rude. Are we ever winning this game if we don't play Rancor this turn? Probably not. Let's risk it for the biscuit. So interesting, he had double Thoughtseize, which means that he had it all along and decided not to play it turn 1. I'm guessing. See if he looks to get rid of our Rancor forever. This one on the stack, if they sweep the creature off the board, this one will go to the graveyard and it won't rebound. The other one will, of course, rebound like normal, but neat interaction that opponents could know. Yeah, sure. I mean, I called it before. I don't think we're ever winning the game in that spot. Sure. Spirit is attacking us. Guess it's not over yet. I kind of am pretty close to conceding this game. Going to game 3. Goodbye, Luris. His third Thoughtseize in 11 cards with no filtering. No card draws, no nothing. Lol. That card's not very good in face of Teferi Time Raveler. None of our counterspells are very good now that this Teferi is resolved. I'm going to see my next draw and then I'm probably going to scoop. I'm going to scoop before he gets the information. Fuck this. What was our next card? A Bogle finally. It's probably too late at that point. Alright, we'll run it back because we are very much like favoured now that we're on the play as opposed to on the draw. Fuck yeah, let's go. That's a lot of card draw. Alright, so our opponent could Thoughtseize this turn, but they can only take one of our Curious Obsessions. No Thoughtseize for the opponent. We find the Force of Negation. I don't mind that. Alright, well, we're going to be bricked on land for a bit then. That's super lame, because we're really gimping our own card draw here by not curving out. Alright, we'll look to finally draw land maybe. Opponent Snapcaster Mage jump block. I thought so. Still, like, it's not a very good use for Snapcaster Mage, so we're okay with that. Probably ditch the Curious Obsession to the Oath if they go for it here. Akai's Guile, sorry. I always get that mixed up. They always seem to want to jam it on their turn for some reason. Explosives on 1. Counter. They could have mana leak here, which would get us pretty bad. It's a real shame because we were actually like stupidly favored here with our initial hand, and then we just missed on card draw. Missed on hitting our land and curving out. Such a different game if we curve out there and draw like a million cards off of it all. Alright, so we finally hit our land, finally. On our turn 4. Like 4 draws later, we finally hit it. Alright, opponent lets us untap, that's huge. So we're going to play our Kai's Guile Assurance, which is Dried Arbor. Gonna go for attacks, and he's probably going to crack this Explosives. Alright, well, we pass turn, and we'll leave up Dryad Arbor. If our opponent does something silly like tap out, we can go really hard on a Dryad Arbor. And go Rancor plus double Ethereal Armor is attack for 3, 6, 8, 9. 9 damage, which is lethal. The game's definitely not at a point where we need to force the Dryad Arbor yet. So I'm not going to. We have another land for that anyway. So probably get like discarded. Hopefully he doesn't have discard plus kill spell. I don't know. Alright, let's lower all this Lurrus until we can have Lurrus plus Mana Lake, I think. I'll probably go for Dryad Arbor in my next turn. Plus, like, because we got 2 Hyena Umbros, it's pretty worth going for. Castle Vantress active? Sure. Well, we can't let them do that for too long, right? 2 cards on the bottom, because like they are just going to draw gas off that as time goes on. Alright, we're dodging Path to Exile at this point if this Hyena Umbra resolves. Right. What does that mean? Does that mean he has the sacrifice effect for it on the Kaya's Guile? We play around that then. And get back a Bogle, and then we're only bad against Damnation. Bugger off, man. Snapcaster Leak. Maybe I forced this too early. Maybe I'm supposed to go more auras. I was trying to play around Kaya's Guile. I didn't really think about that, because then like a Dryad Arbor just gets bounced by the Teferi. So I think we actually just have to go for it. So yeah, that's definitely bad for me. We're like super low percent to win at that point anyway, though, because we just missed our land drop on our critical turns. If we turn 2 double Curious Obsession, turn 3 Curious Obsession plus Staggering Insight, there is no way he's dealing with that card value. No way. But yeah, unfortunately our cards just came in the wrong order. Alright, that's it from me today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video and learnt something. As always, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.